The mind is not this light bulb switch where you read the books and you hear the concepts and you can regurgitate them back out and all of a sudden you're enlightened. Welcome back to one's journey of unwinding the mind and of course your daily microdose. Now tune in to the latest episode of One's Journey. Today I want to talk about navigating the belief in the unseen and how we're always wanting to manifest it into the seen. And I want to share, this is something I've really been struggling with lately personally. And it's interesting because this was something I struggled with early on being introduced to the course and understanding really how things are operating. And the reason for that was because I was really big into the New Age movement of manifesting the life of your dreams, of creating exactly how things are by saying affirmations, believing it, stepping into it, becoming it. And am I saying that doesn't work? No, I'm not. But when I found out that it didn't matter and that was placing weight on the illusion, I became really upset and was like, okay, then what's the point? And then as I navigated through it, I found more and more, I realized that the scene, I wasn't manifesting it and trying to create a specific thing, but I realized the scene was becoming more beautiful and that in fact things were aligning more and it just was this really beautiful representation of surrendering instead of trying to manipulate the illusion through manifesting. And it was all because of the belief in the unseen. But the tricky piece there is that just because you have belief in the unseen does not necessarily mean the seen is going to be beautiful. And it's one of those pieces where you don't really know if you're fully trusting in the unseen or if you are still relying on some of the seen to validate you until all of a sudden the seen is not that beautiful. Until the scene is uncomfortable or appears different than the way you feel internally. And how do you actually handle that? So for me, a lot of similar patterns in my life are showing up, similar external situations that maybe financially or the physically how I look and it keeps creeping back and I keep focusing back on it. And I'm like, but I understand that these things aren't real and that they don't matter and that I'm not really a body. And then I realized, shit, I'm putting so much weight on the fact that they aren't important, that they're having just as much impact. And my perception of it is taking something and putting so much weight on it just on the other side. And I talk to my clients about this all the time. So it's something I'm very intellectually aware of. But it's a representation showing you that we can intellectualize until we're blue in the face, but the ability to actually integrate and live it is that process of consistently untying the ego and consistently coming back. And when I've realized these things, it's not about placing shame and guilt on it, which trust me, at first I did and was like, oh my gosh, Ashley, you're not practicing what you preach, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I am doing everything the Course says not to do. I am placing weight on it. I'm creating shame and guilt. And that's exactly what the ego wants me to do. That is me living still in the ego belief system. Instead, I look at it, I'm like, okay, this is again how we have placed expectations and weight on things that are not true. This is again an opportunity to see how I still believe in the truth of the illusion and how I'm still not ready to fully accept the love of God and to fully accept my truth. And look at it, honor it, and release it. And that is what I've done. And it's not necessarily this quick fix either. It has to happen over and over again. And one thing is like aging, in my face aging, and I'm now 40 years old, and there's been some different things occurring, but I've placed so much weight on it, as much as I know I'm not a body and that it's just a part of the illusion. I've really had to sit and be like, this is a projection of the internal. This is the weight I've been placing on it. This is a representation of the sadness and hurt I felt when I thought I left God, but in fact I never did, and I just have to keep going back to that place. So why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you because belief in the unseen is like full surrender, full belief in the unseen. And we sometimes get caught up that we are actually looking at the seen for reiteration, the external, but we don't know it because it's so beautiful until it's something that makes us uncomfortable. We realize that we have been looking again for validation in the seen and attempting to manifest it into the seen, not necessarily consciously, but subconsciously. And it's okay. It's okay. It's a part of the process. Give yourself grace. Forgive it. Understand that it's actually not occurring and that this is all just a dream and that in fact this is a projection of the initial separation and your shame and guilt there. And just keep bringing yourself back there. That's what I have done for myself. And it still comes up. I keep saying that. But I just have to keep coming back. And I truly believe that is the process of unwinding the mind is not this light bulb switch where you read the books and you hear the concepts and you can regurgitate them back out and all of a sudden you're enlightened. No, it's the ability, like those are just walking sticks and really at any moment they can be taken away from you. It's about you practicing over and over again and really focusing on that unwinding from the ego. That was probably a whole lot of like, oh my gosh, Ashley, what are you even talking about? But I hope it was helpful for you to see like this journey is a journey. This is not perfect by any means. And it's easy to get caught up in creating more shame and guilt because your actions aren't how you think they should be, right? Just don't should all over yourself. We know where that gets us. But it's a normal part of the process and it's okay. And you just honor it and you release it and you forgive it. Forgive it at the level of the mind. Remember, it never actually happened. That was today's video, how we struggle to believe in the unseen and we always are trying to manifest it into the seen, even oftentimes when we don't think we are. As always, please share in the comments below. Where do you find yourself get caught back up over and over again with this untying of the ego and needing it to be manifested into the seen? Comment. We love to interact. That's what a community is all about. If you are watching this on the YouTube channel, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are checking us out on Patreon or you are already a part of the Patreon community, hop on the Discord and share. And if you are not a part of the Patreon community yet, you are missing out. And I highly encourage you to go check it out. We have an amazing community of like-minded individuals walking with one another on our journey back home. And we have a monthly live discussion. We would love to see you there. It is the Right-Minded Thinker. But as always, my friend, please share topics you want to hear about and discuss. Comment below. This is a community. We're in this together. And remember, you are worth it. Much love. Bye-bye.